A major Bitcoin supply shock is incoming. 650,000 Bitcoin have gone. Javier Malay sticks it to the WEF. Epic video. We'll watch just a couple of minutes. The Australian banks, they're deleting accounts who deal with Bitcoin. And Klaus Schwab elects himself as our leader. Go figure. The Fed, they're forcing banks to use emergency loans. And Jim Cramer is signaling that the bull market is here. We'll jump into all that today. So GBTC currently holds 568,000 Bitcoin out of the 650,000 Bitcoin held in ETFs. Here's a bold prediction. GBTC Bitcoin will go down. Total Bitcoin and ETFs will go up. Watch it unfold with this ETF tracker. This is by Thomas here at Apollo. Nearly 650,000 is locked up, not coming back in to the market. There is very little left on the exchanges. We are in for a very amazing time. We'll jump into what Javier Malay sticks it. I don't know how he got an invite and will he be back again next year for the World Economic Forum, but this is what he has to say in regards to the West.
The only possible destiny is more state, more regulation, more socialism, more poverty, less freedom, and consequently, a worse quality of life. Unfortunately, the West has already started down this path. To many, it may sound ridiculous to suggest that the West has embraced socialism, but this view is only ridiculous if one limits themselves to the traditional economic definition of socialism, which states that it is an economic system where the state owns the means of production. In my opinion, this definition needs to be updated to reflect the current circumstances from my perspective. Today, states don't need to control means of production to control every aspect of individuals' lives. With tools such as monetary issuance, debt, subsidies, interest rate control, price controls, and regulations to correct alleged market failures, they can control the destinies of millions of human beings.
Which is currently happening. It's no longer a conspiracy theory. It is nice to be seeing this said at the World Economic Forum. Shout out to everyone that is watching live or watching the replay today. This is going back, Nayib Bukele just a little bit, but he explains this pretty well, and then we'll jump into the Bitcoin news.
The Federal Reserve is nothing federal and has no reserves, right? So they do print more money, and they rob you from your wealth and from your savings, and that's immoral. But it's not only immoral, but it also destroys some basic economic principles, like, for example, saving or your pension. From these financial publications, they will print lies. But you know, there's something special about lies, is that they don't last for long. They don't last long.
Well said. And I brought that up just as a little bit of a reminder. Why do we stack Bitcoin? Because if we bring it up here, Bitcoin's priced at 41,870. We all thought it'd be at 100,000, $1 million by now. Obviously, this video is not financial advice. Nice reminder that these opportunities are good to stack. You can push the green button there. Nice big green button for you today. It is only up a little bit. Over time, short term, long, up, down, and sideways. Long term, we can see where the trend is going. Let's jump into the block clock and then we'll get on with the news. Let's hit a little bit of a refresh and just make sure it is up to date. So local time 5:40 a.m. block height 826,728, 41,746. Sats per USD 2,395. The market cap of Bitcoin is just over $800 billion closing in, and we can see the last block reward is 6.9954, the first 69 of the day, numbers of the universe, and 13,272 blocks to go to the halving. It is all happening. TikTok next block as it should. So this is what's going on with these big institutions. BlackRock and Fidelity have both accumulated over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin in 1 week. You think they work this hard for a spot ETF just to watch it fail. No, they're here to pump this thing to the exosphere and siphon off juicy fees for decades to come. But if you're feeling terribly bearish, I get it. It's okay. Just do me a favor. Go look into the mirror and tell the spineless salad hands looking back at you to dump all their Bitcoin, right? This is not my opinion. I'm just reading some guy off X. Buy some safe government bonds and get in line for UBI and bug burger vouchers while you're at it. Everyone else, your long-term vision, patience, and courage will be rewarded as always. That reminds me, you can either read the book, Shout Out to Bitcoin Evangelism, if you haven't read it yet. Fantastic book. Link in the top of the description. Not getting paid to say this today. Read the books or eat the bugs or end up on UBI and government handouts. Now, well, this gentleman, okay, let's not call him a gentleman. It's incredible, the audacity of some people, and shout out to everyone watching first before we play this. I just want to say Monday to Thursday, we will keep this PG friendly, and then tune in on Fridays, Australian Eastern Standard Time, 5:35 for F-Bomb Fridays. Anyway, you have been warned. It'll be nice and chill during the week, Monday, Thursday, Friday. Maybe not so much, but I'll save my full-on thoughts for Friday for Klaus Schwab, and I'll just play this and let me know what you think about this unelected leader.
As trustees of the future, we are responsible for advancing a world which is richer in possibilities, more equitable in opportunities, and more secure in its foundations. Moreover, as leaders in government, business, and society, we bear a particular responsibility to rebuild trust in how we assume our own role as trustees.
Yeah, so it's insane. Does anybody know how they got that much power and control? It's absolutely crazy and insidious. Anyway, we'll save my thoughts for F-Bomb Fridays. With that, let us know what your thoughts are, either in the comment section or there in the live chat. If you haven't already, hit subscribe if we vibe. The Bitcoin news with the fast facts. 5:35, which is 7:35 UTC. Now, this is Franklin Templeton, CEO. She's a bit of an altcoiner here. This is just one short bit, and then we've got 2 minutes later if that video will come up. But we'll just play the 35 seconds of it.
And, one of the things that made me a believer is as I went around the world talking to people who would tell you, I had somebody who said, I keep 50% of my savings in Bitcoin because if I say the wrong thing in my country, I could have my assets confiscated. I remember talking to somebody in Israel who said, my parents and their parents had all of their assets confiscated.
So it's happened, and it's happening everywhere, obviously, with inflation. Not your keys, not your coins. Holding the ETF is not holding Bitcoin. It doesn't give you that freedom, that self-sovereign wealth. You can put your seed on steel, just whatever you do, don't keep it on paper. $11 off Amazon. You can get some stainless steel from a steel shop. Whatever works for you, whatever allows you to protect your generational wealth, do that, because the ETF is not going to save you. It's Bitcoin and self-custody. That's the revolution, and it is being psyoped a little bit by Wall Street, and we're going to look at both sides of it. I'm happy to, because it will allow people to have price exposure, retirement funds, pension funds, and the like of that, people in their IRAs. I get all that, but it's not the real Bitcoin. Now, that's quite wild. At the current run rate in 37 days, IBIT would have flipped GBTC in terms of Bitcoin holdings. BlackRock would have approximately 256,936.75 Bitcoin, surpassing Grayscale's projection holdings of around 247,813 Bitcoin. BlackRock's acquisition. BlackRock acquired 25k Bitcoin in 4 trading days. This leads to a daily acquisition rate of approximately 6,266, 666 in there. Interesting. Grayscale's outflow. Grayscale experienced an outflow of approximately 1.6 bill over 4 trading days, with Bitcoin priced around 43K. This translates to roughly 37,209 Bitcoin leaving Grayscale in 4 days. 9,302 Bitcoin per day. So, Grayscale for a while, there's going to be a lot of conspiracies. Why have they kept their fees so high? Extraordinary how much higher over the market rate they have gone. Tour here, could there be any truth to this? I'm aware of Hanlon's razor, but still, it is quite the coincidence that the largest known Bitcoin hoard is currently being transferred into the custodial control of Wall Street. It is interesting that Grayscale did put in a WEF puppet as CEO as well. He doesn't even blink. We showed that gentleman, we'll call him. We can save my thoughts for F-Bomb Fridays, hey, in regards to the Grayscale CEO. Spineless creature. It almost feels like GBTC was forced into 150 basis points fee in order to gracefully wind it down, provide cheap sats for BlackRock. Obviously, this is all just speculation. A couple of people are really getting in on this. I'm pretty sure BlackRock is scooping up a large amount of Bitcoin, acting as the financial arm of the US government. Why would Grayscale intentionally keep fees at 2.5%, knowing full well it will lead to huge outflows to the likes of BlackRock with a fraction of that? Just a shout out to Rory Saylor. He has dropped the block height 126,728. This is Time Chain Calendar. You can go on there. Let us know what block height you are watching the replay on. And smash the like. Again, subscribe if you haven't already. If we vibe, shout out to everyone in the chat. We will get in to your comments shortly. Now, Ronan commenting on this. I might be insane thinking this, but in my mind, the elites already know Bitcoin has won, hence why the world's countries are all simultaneously piloting CBDCs. We're going to get into banks in Australia absolutely just cussing people out, closing their accounts down, deleting the money actually happening. And this gentleman, Shane, he's tracked it anyway. We'll dive into that shortly. But the CBDCs are what's planned for you. They will be scooping up the Bitcoin. So we've got this opportunity here to do it right. There's going to be a lot of fear, programming, propaganda out there that holding Bitcoin 24 words, 12 words, 25 words, whatever way you want to set it up, multi-sig, it's illegal, it's bad, you're an unethical person. But it's stack and chill or eat the bugs is the agenda here. So make the most of it. The liquidity and outflows coming from GBTC, in my opinion, is big as a global recession for Bitcoin. This will dwarf any future FUD coming from potential sell on Mt. Gox and MicroStrategy in the future. Hodl rate will only continue to increase as Wall Street will buy and hold as opposed to retail trading. Keep it in your hands, not in the likes of BlackRock. That saying, HODL, hold on for dear life. That's what they turned HODL into, an acronym. Drunk spelling. It's a pretty good chant. What are you going to change the world's hardest asset into? Dirty fiat? They're dropping it from helicopters, millions of dollars. I've got a video to show you in regards to that. So the bigger picture is Bitcoin continues to trade 24/7 seamlessly, which continues to get unnoticed. The ETFs are not. Bitcoin, stack and chill, and the bull run, thankfully, is confirmed. We are so back. Thanks so much, Mr. Kramer.
You know, I've been looking at what Larry Williams, going back over what the great legendary Larry Williams has been saying about Bitcoin. He says we're really kind of at the beginning of one of the most major collapses he's ever seen. So I don't think I want to go into Mara, as we call it on the trading desk. I think I want to stay away from Bitcoin. By the way, those who are in Bitcoin, nothing bad to say.
Jim, he's entertaining for sure. But the inverse Kramer has just worked out so well. Do we get a little bit of chop for a little bit longer? Sure. But please know that Wall Street is sucking up that Bitcoin. We are going to have money printer. Interest rates are going to come down. The halving, it's like 86 or 85 days away as well. It's not long, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of patience. I'd say fact check this, and this is why we stack Bitcoin. To be a self-sovereign individual, I had to verify this. New York Post, WHO directed calls for World Pandemic Treaty to prepare for DZX. And I had to make sure someone wasn't just memeing the New York Post, but they are putting that out there. So it is going over mainstream news. This year is going to be the year of chaos. You can protect yourself, your family, your future by just stacking and chilling, or at least reading the books again and studying Bitcoin, understanding what this technology is. If you are new to the space, welcome. Just know this ETF, and we're going to watch a Bitcoin ETF ad in 2 secs. It's not actual Bitcoin. It's better just to buy the real thing, hold it in self-custody, which means take control over it. It's like holding, I know this is a bad example, but holding digital gold in your own Fort Knox, but you can actually verify and audit it, and you always keep control. So that's the reason why I say that is because these ads are coming up. When I first saw this ad, I thought it was absolute rubbish compared to everything else. But when you see it on a billboard like this, they're doing well. I'm not saying I'm for the ETFs, but they are marketing Bitcoin. And if you've found out about Bitcoin, your family or your friends have found out about Bitcoin through the ads, then it just makes sense to allow them and help them to get it into self-custody. The way that transcends, because people are just driving past pretty quick when it does that keyboard flip at the start there. That's okay. It looks much better on that. Obviously, they can't play those epic, huge trailers. I'm sure they could on those billboards, but people driving past are probably going to notice that a whole lot more. So, Australian banks just deleting people's bank accounts. I've probably got a message there, one of those 3 from Shane, where we're always back and forth. So, first update for a while on the NAB debanking. Here's the reply from NAB on why they closed my account. Took them 3.5 weeks to respond. They said the following. NAB carries out ongoing customer due diligence checks and regularly reviews the products and services we provide to our customers. It has been identified that NAB must cease its banking service with you as you no longer meet the bank's risk appetite. What has Shane been doing? He's been stacking and chilling, and they do not like that. Now, the original account closure letter they sent me said, if there are any remaining funds in your account at that date, we may transfer the balance to the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is Australia, the Commonwealth of Australia to the government as unclaimed money. Any account with a balance under $20, and he pays tribute to Satoshi with 21. This gets so interesting. Will be donated to NAB Foundation if we don't receive a response within 90 days. So Shane thought I'd leave 21 in there to see what would happen. Surprise, surprise, they took the $21. Below is a letter they sent me with a closing balance of 0 for the account that had 21 left. The letter was sent on the 13th of November. Went to a branch, asked for a statement. I didn't mention anything about the $21 until I got the statement. I told the teller everything that happened. She was generally shocked. Below is a photo of the statement that says there's a closing withdrawal of $21 on the 31st of October. Shane didn't have access to the account after the 19th, so he couldn't make that withdrawal. What happened, NAB? Did you send that money to your foundation, break your terms and conditions? Your letter stipulated amounts under $20, and you're supposed to wait 90 days for my response. You did not wait 90 days to take that money, did you? And I checked the government's unclaimed money, and it is not there either. You don't realise I had a statement either, did you? Anybody is being served. So when I sent an email to NAB to see what happened, they said the letter that was issued in November 2023 was not correct. Go figure. A new letter has been created advising the correct account balance and how to go about claiming the funds. So where did that $21 go? When was the mistake made? It's absolutely amazing. I have reposted that at Sean Clark in 911. Well done to you, Shane, for recording this. It's been going on for a really, really long time. He's been doing some amazing work. I went to 4 banks today. Mutual Bank said they flat out don't allow Bitcoin purchases. Greater Bank said they weren't sure and have to call me back. They called back and said they can't open an account there if it is for Bitcoin purchase only, but they will allow me to but they allow me to have a business account. But if I try to purchase Bitcoin and crypto, they will block the transaction. Didn't mention if they would close it though. Lady at Newcastle Perm, wasn't sure, but said they don't allow overseas payments. She's an older lady, so I went easy on her. Great Southern Bank staff weren't sure and were going to call me back. It's been ongoing. Chain's doing a really good job there documenting that. It's absolutely insane. Your money, your choice? No, ladies and gentlemen, it's not. When you put that money in the bank account, they own it, they control it, they can do whatever they like, to say it politely. Tune in for a little bit more on F-Bomb Fridays. I've got a bit more to say. So I think a lot of Bitcoiners are too young to understand this in regards to the ETFs and a potential positive for price, impact, and exposure. Still not real Bitcoin, but I do happen to agree with a lot of this. So I think a lot of Bitcoiners are too young to understand how locked up most capital is in vehicles like IRAs, 401ks, treasuries, and other types of custodial trust services, and too technical to understand how intimidating people find buying and holding spot Bitcoin. Without this insight, it's hard to truly understand the impact of the ETFs on capital access to Bitcoin. Easily a 10x at baseline, maybe 100x in a bull market. It's staggering how much wealth is tied up in the retirement system. It does allow people, if they do allow in kind and you can get the Bitcoin out of there and then hold in self-custody, all's well that ends well, but in the meantime, just stack and chill. A great reminder from the author of Bitcoin Evangelism. People seem to have forgotten that the Bitcoin supply shock can happen rather quickly. They're saying within Bitcoin slowly, then suddenly. It's not a meme, it happens. Sometimes there'll be weeks or years where nothing happens, and then there'll be days where weeks and years happen. So get ready, enjoy it. This is that longer video by the CEO. We'll come back to it because it is a little bit long. Let's just make sure I am where I need to be. So we'll come back to that. The lady's a total altcoiner, total psyop, and I don't know, Franklin Templeton, the CEO. Anyway, we can get into her later. So, Joe, this is insane. The Fed is going to force banks to tap its discount window for emergency loans, even if they don't need one. It's aimed to reduce stigma and ensure lenders are ready for troubled times. Are you kidding me? What is the Fed preparing us for? 2024, the year of chaos. We did see that announcement on the New York Post in regards to a certain pandemic. Now, US regulators are preparing to introduce a plan to require that banks tap the Federal Reserve discount window at least once a year to reduce the stigma and ensure lenders are ready for troubled times. Okay, interesting. Now, have you seen this? I would suggest you listen very closely and let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I'll let you decide. What do you take away from this?
If you go back really not that long ago, as I say, we owned the news. We were the gatekeepers, and we very much owned the facts as well. If it said it in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, then that was a fact. Nowadays, people can go to all sorts of different sources for the news, and they're much more questioning about what we're saying. So it's no longer good enough for us just to say, this is what happened, or this is the news. We have to explain our working. So readers expect to understand how we source stories. They want to know how we go about getting stories. We have to sort of lift the bonnet, as it were, and in a way that newspapers aren't used to doing, and explain to people what we're doing. We need to be much more transparent about how we go about collecting the news.
As you should. It's crazy. The lady seems shocked, and this is why, if you haven't already, go out there, smash the subscribe button for every Bitcoin YouTuber out there who is getting the signal, and drop them a like, drop me a like, subscribe if we vibe. They are losing. Bitcoin is winning. It will take a little bit of time because they still have a larger part of the world population, but things are shifting. Now, if you own Bitcoin, you're all going to die. We're all going to die. We're in this together. Happy to go down with this ship because it is that last chance at freedom technology.
Well, if Bitcoin will become the ultimate type of a form of the currency been adopted by human society, I can tell exactly what's going to happen as the worst scenario or the must scenario. We're all going to die. This is not a joke.
We're all gonna die. This is not a joke. If you hold Bitcoin, if Bitcoin wins, Bitcoin is winning. I think it's saving the planet, the world, people's purchasing power, what they're working for. If we're on a Bitcoin standard, yes, we'd still have wars. I understand that, but they wouldn't go on for as long. We wouldn't have all these proxy wars. So, Scott, okay, dear people of Bitcoin, the world's largest economy now has Bitcoin spot ETFs. TradeFi institutions now Bitcoin PR marketing associates. The next chess move is to stop talking about the ETFs and focus energy on scaling Bitcoin circular economies and self-custody. The biggest one there, self-custody, and spend some sats. Donate it, use it, orange pill your local butcher, start that conversation. Otherwise, just hopefully you get lucky and you get a little bit of helicopter money. So there's $1 million raining down from the sky there. I think there's some rapper or some dude going out and doing that. Somebody said, I should airdrop some Satoshis. Well, nobody's airdropping Satoshis because any airdrop of Satoshis is clearly a scam. And this is worthless confetti. It looks like confetti. Nobody's doing that with Bitcoin, so I guess that's a good reminder. If people say W Bitcoin or whatever, send me one, you get two back, whatever it is, cat pictures, whatever it is. If it's not Bitcoin, it's not Bitcoin, in my humble opinion. And Michael Saylor has to chime in. Bitcoin is money. Everything else is credit, including the confetti that is floating down. So, Fred Krueger, $1.2 billion daily volume and growing now for the non-GBTC ETFs. Wall Street is coming to drink your milkshake. Bitcoiners. So Eric Belahanis, the 9 saw another jump in volume today, up 12% versus Thursday and 53% from Wednesday. Rare phenomenon. Also check out FBTC, seeing more trading than IBIT. Those two are an illegal duel to be the one, but all of them posting huge numbers for newbies. Competition is making them all hustle twice as hard. I think net, it's a positive for Bitcoin. It will bring more and more exposure. The biggest thing is once they suck up all the supply, it is number go up technology. Everything that we've listed throughout this video, every other video, make the most of it. Tell friends and family. If they see IBIT or FBTC or HODL or BitB, whatever it is, and they start asking you about Bitcoin because they know you're a Bitcoiner, be like, yes, that's great. Whatever, if you need to use it because you don't have the opportunity with your retirement accounts, I'm sure there are ways, and we have found that there are ways over in the States to be able to use your retirement accounts to purchase actual Bitcoin, holding self-storage, self-custody. And it's hard, it's difficult. But do the hard things in your life will be easy, or do the easy things in your life will be hard. But have those conversations and try get them into cold storage self-custody would be amazing. So where's all the Bitcoin? Between ETFs, funds, private and public companies, governments, and even DeFi spew, well said, it only comes out to 2.1 million Bitcoin, or 10% of the total supply. The remaining Bitcoin is the hand of individuals or lost for good. Stay strong, hodlers. It's just a matter of time. And then, reminder, at the moment, only 0.26% of the world population can own one Bitcoin. Do we really want to watch this lady? How about I just repost? You can see the whole thing. Talks a lot about blockchain technology, total altcoiner. I'll save my thoughts for Friday. Maybe I'll bring this video up on Friday, but they do have 1.5 trillion of assets under management. All I want to bring up here, 816 billion, 904 million, second 69 of the day, $591,132 for the Bitcoin market cap. Overall, $1.7 trillion. Bitcoin is slowly growing up. And we brought this up earlier. Third, 69 for the day, 41,669, 41,772. Let's just take a look at the last 24 hours and see what's going on with this page. So they have changed the interval. How interesting. What I'd like to see is the 24-hour highs and lows. Here we go. 41,554 for the low, 41,843. Wow. $300 less than that is really small move. And even in the last 7 days, 40,000K to 43K. It's sideways. So can only stay here, ladies and gentlemen, for so long. And then it needs to move one way or another with all the supply being taken away. I won't be betting against it, but in the meantime, we'll just stack and chill. So shout out to everyone that's in the comment section this morning. That's the news with the fast facts. Again, if you haven't already, hit subscribe if we vibe. Monday to Thursday, PG-13, family friendly. Friday, you've been warned, F-bomb Fridays. They actually have another name, but we can't say it Monday to Thursday. So tune in Friday for F-bomb Fridays. And this is where we fight back with their words. Anyway, shout out to everyone. Baseline Ben and Mike, Orange Pill Dispenser. Michael, I love how he assumes the title of trustee. Who the flip? Asked him. This is in regards to Klaus Schwab. Absolutely amazing. There's this pretty cool video, and he's got on this jacket, and he looks like something out of Star Wars, like the Imperial Army or something. It's an older video. If you haven't read his book, The Great Reset, I implore you to do it. It's scary, it's dystopian, but if they're saying these things, it's better to believe that they have the intention of pulling them out. And when we understand what game they're playing, well, it's the rule book, then we can fight back. Looks like a Thunderbird's batter. You have to be a boomer to get that one. These WEF clowns time... Mike, in regards to I brushed over it so quick, I'm not a boomer, so I don't get it. Orange Pill Dispenser, these WEF clowns, time has come, they don't even know it yet. Shout out to Rory, dropping the block height there again, and that is time chain calendars, the easiest way to see it. Crypto Gator, g'day. Charlie, g'day from New Jersey. Orange Pill Dispenser, the Book of Revelations is only a horror story for those that wish to control us. It's when the masses wake up and the truth will be revealed. Amen. Amen is how I read it. My apologies, 3080. Is this with credit cards or a regular account? In regards to the bank, it's just a regular account. G'day from NJ, Charlie Sparta, and g'day, Caster. No idea how to say that. Course. Yeah, sorry, brother. I'm going to have to try and find out the phonetic pronunciation of that place where you are. Perhaps a plan to tap that Windows to make it impossible. Figure out which banks are in trouble. You're a real one. Eric, when are you coming on, bro? If you're up at this time, man, can we do it this week? If you don't know who Eric V. Stacks is, follow him on X. Eric, Eric, tag me with one of your videos on Twitter and I'll repost it. Eric's awesome to listen to. Truly, absolutely incredible to listen to. So let us know what you're up to later this week. Love to have you on for a bit of a banter. It's called Fact Checking and Transparency. Trust's been lost. I airdrop Satoshi's on the Orange Pill app. There's one person, but Rory's a good man. Only 216,000 Bitcoin this year to be mined, only 164,000 Bitcoin in 2025. I'm skeptical about the book. If Schwab revealed all these evil plans, why would he let us know? If anything, we should expect that'd be worse than what's written. Mr. Android in the way. A little bit of speculation, a little bit of tin hat, but due to their cultist beliefs, they need to let us know what they're doing. They warn us. They told us about the pandemic. They're telling us about disease X now. Own Nothing can be happy. They need to put their agenda out so karmically they feel balanced. Their soul is still corrupt. They are doing the devil's works. They're not on the side of life, light, truth, freedom, but through whatever master they are choosing to serve, or they're the slaves of, that's part of their beliefs. So they need to put everything out there. And it's pretty interesting. And this is not a conspiracy. This is just a fact. And I think it's CNBC. Fact check me on what news source it was. But they're talking about, and they were showing at this bioweapons facility somewhere in Europe. So bioweapons, chemical warfare facility, they're creating they're trying to find a vaccine or a way to kill disease X. But why would they be doing it in a biological and chemical warfare laboratory? Those two things should not be combined. Anyway, crazy. The market is down and all I hear is people moaning, stack while you can. It's literally your last chance. Southwest Carp, you said that really well, really eloquently. Up, down or sideways, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter. If the price was a lot higher, truly it'd suck. When you buy it and then you want it to moon straight away, oh, sure, it doesn't feel good. The ETF came, price has gone sideways. But we've got this opportunity now, and it is just TikTok next block. It is number go up technology. It's just time. Supply and demand shock coming. The Bodhi heats far. Hi, calling you. Get it. Facts. Absolutely. That's true, Sean. They did the same with the Illuminati cards. They had to let us know first. They like to rub it in our faces. Saw that too. It's all about control, my man. How are we going to take your seed phrase through an airport if it's pressed to metal dog tags? If you need a border pass, 24 words in your head and recreate it. But whatever way you want to do it, having it on a piece of paper, they can still confiscate that as well. Going from border to border, maybe hold those 24 words. But for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 years, are you going to remember the order of those 24 words? That's, I guess, the point that I'm getting at. But Lee Webb, that's a good point as well. If you're traveling border to border, you're going to have to remember those 24 words in the correct order and get it through. And I'm sure there's very creative ways that you can do that. Now, it's been a pleasure. Hit subscribe if we vibe. Monday, Thursday, no profanity. F-bomb Fridays on Friday, 7:30. Well, it's actually 7:30 UTC Thursday, but 5:35 a.m. Friday, F-bomb Fridays. Bring on effing Friday. Yous are all degens. BlackRock and friends keeps on buying and never going to see those coins back on the market. Get to one Bitcoin and hodl. Warlock, you said it. Get to one Bitcoin and hodl. You win. Be blessed. Peace.